It's not about left versus right. It's about Palm Coast, your home and mine. Neighbors over politics. I'm not anti-growth, I'm pro-planning. Residents should be included in decisions before they're made, not after. I will show up. I will listen. I will be accountable. I'm Dee Gallery, and I'm ready to do the work.
Hey guys, welcome back to Ponderings from Palm Coast. I'm Mark Webb, and as I have promised, I hope to bring candidates for you to listen to and learn. And today I have Dee Gallery, who's running for the 4th District,
Yes, sir.
Palm Coast City Council. And before we dive in, it's important for everybody to understand this is a time of participation. This is a time of voting. You need to make sure your paperwork, your election numbers, your vote by mail, and everything is dialed in and good. It's easy to do. You contact the elections office down over in Bunnell. Within a couple seconds, they can verify that you are ready. I know that there's been some issues recently with petitions of people wanting to sign and getting involved and finding out that they're not considered active voters anymore. So I beg you, make sure you're ready for August 18th, which is our primary. So with that, I want to introduce you to Dee Gallery. She is an amazing person that's going to bring some exciting views at the City Council. Dee, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me.
So obviously one of the first things you guys know I like to do is find out a little bit about you. So how did you get to Palm Coast?
So about over 30 years ago, I was born on a base in Fort Hood, Texas. My father was in the military, so I'm from Fort Hood, Killeen, Texas. So from there, I believe we moved to Georgia, and then we came down to Florida, where my father got out of the military. My mother's family is from the small town of Hastings, right up the road, and then my father's from Daytona. So that's how we came here. From high school, we moved up here, and we moved to Palm Coast, and I spent about 4 or 5 years here, just in the city before I went off to college.
The big city of Palm Coast?
The big city of Palm Coast. When you grow up in a small town, and I love
Hastings, yeah.
I love Hastings. I do. When you grow up in a small town, coming to Palm Coast, it's a little bit bigger.
Absolutely.
Not quite as big as Daytona, but it has its heart for sure. I left to go to college, down south. I played a little lacrosse, marching band, concert band, any kind of instrument. That's what I was doing when I finally just came back home, and it just settled down with my family and my puppy, POTUS.
POTUS.
and I started getting into the real world. I started, having a real job where I started in retail, and that really just opened up doors for me to, see life from a different perspective. I started off as a wireless sales rep in a older community in Daytona, and I loved it so much because it was just, getting to talk to people, see what their needs were, just listen to what they need, even if it took all day. But it just really started me on my career from there. And from there, I worked really hard to get promoted up into management, where I got promoted to having my own stores and everything. And then I got blessed with an opportunity to switch over from wireless into remodeling retail stores. Um, so for about 8+ years, I I've been remodeling stores, retail stores, large boxes, small boxes, gas stations, things like that. And they gave me that task, and I knocked it out of the park, where I created my own position of becoming, a national manager, where I was just traveling maybe 3 or 4 times out of the week, just going from, Florida, California, Texas. And my job was, to oversee budgets, training, development, speaking with, all types of corporate members, creating development plans of, how things are going to get completed on time, um, and making sure finances were set up properly and everything. So there, I really just hunkered down, developed that, and created more and more revenue for our company, essentially. Um, from there, I tried to settle down and finish out my degree, where I got a degree at UCF for political science. And, I just been in love with government since 2008. 2008 was a big transition year for everyone. Something new coming into office, something different coming into office. And I just remember being with my granny, and my granny's excited. She's like, "I'm gonna vote." I never heard my granny say she was gonna vote. So going out there to the supervisor elections, making sure we get her registered to vote, things like that. So it was just an exciting time for sure, but it really made me stop and really just think about government and history in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. And the skill set that you're describing in that supporting the big box revisions, changes, or whatever, I think is possibly based on what I've seen and what we need at City Council are technically people that can read technical documents, people that can read design drawings and builder things and understand the financial impacts of things. And some are stronger at that than others. And so I see that as a possible skill set that you bring. I know you've sat in a lot of the city council meetings and watched them and seen how you could possibly bring a quality to the city council based on your past experiences with budget and scheduling and design and understanding drawings and technical documents.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people don't realize, and I, for one, witness and see the struggling, and I too came out of that type of environment, that taking someone that just says, "Hey, I'd like to run for city council." Well, what did you do your whole career? Well, I was a stay-at-home mom and raising my kids, which is great, and stepping up to be a candidate or being involved is phenomenal. But as you now get those packets for every upcoming meeting, there's hundreds of pages.
Yes.
It is amazing when you, and I hope you are, watching the city council meetings and you see the agenda item, which is typically 1-2 pages, there's hundreds of documents to support the economic decision of this or the builder issue of this. And it's almost a full-time job.
Yes.
So I'm hearing you, and I feel that you'll be able to bring a lot of that technical strength from the years that you've worked around the country remodeling and looking at those documents. So as you've knocked on doors, you've started your campaign.
Yes.
You're meeting citizens throughout the W section. what's your feel? What do you think's going on? What are the citizens sharing with you?
So not just the W sections,
Well,
but
but I meant all of, and I'm in District 4 as well. So, what are you getting out of that so far?
so honestly, and knock on wood, 97% of it has all been positive. I'm getting a lot of, we need younger people, which I don't want to go, roll off of that because I don't want it to, come off as negative, right? A fresh perspective or, a change. So a lot of people are excited that a change is coming. Um, the other things I might get is, oh, the other thing I might get would be, what experience do you have? And honestly, those are the best conversations because now I get to tell you who I am, right? So if you missed, my launch party or, you might not see my website just yet, right? But those are those one-on-one conversations where I get to listen to residents, but also get to explain myself one-on-one, right? You know, no other people, just me and you one-on-one conversation. So one, you can understand who I am and I can understand you and understand what your need could possibly be. Those are the biggest things that I've been given. A lot of times, if I don't get anything, I always make sure that I refer everyone back to my web page, because once you go to my web page, if you go down to the bottom, it says dialogue. And I want you, if you can't think of anything right then and there, I want you to go to that website and I want you to put your name, your email address, and you tell me what's wrong, right? If you couldn't tell me in that moment, there's your chance to get it. I also leave a business card. If you can't tell me right then and there, text me, call me, leave a message so that way we can present it to city council.
And tell me, what is your website?
So
How can people find you?
Absolutely. So my website is Dylana, Dylana Gallery, GALERY.com. No www dot, just DylanaGallery.com.
Excellent. We have such a diverse, slightly older group living here. And for the record, you are young. And I'm excited to see more younger people participate because you bring ideas and you bring thoughts and stuff, which is new and exciting. And I appreciate that. And I want all the young people that are out there. That's the reason I actually started this podcast.
Okay.
Because back after the 2024 election, the need for podcasting became so vital, and it was such a conversation on both sides, and we had nothing here. We had no ability to enter into that market. And I felt that very simply, with the help of my producers, we've started putting that out there. And it's been exciting. It's been fun. So, Dee, what do you think your biggest challenges are going to be when you get elected and you find yourself sitting there on that city council next summer?
So I think the biggest challenges are going to be trying to meet everyone's standards, which I know isn't going to happen in the first week, the first month. It's not realistic, right? However, it's to get accustomed to the change, going to meetings, reading the budgets. Although, I'm studying up now, but it's coming in full force. So making sure that I'm accurate with the budgets, making sure that I know what happened 10 years ago, because a lot of things are from 10 years are coming up now. So making sure that I'm acquainted with all that, to make sure that I'm in full effect for everyone. So I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for sure. I'm used to meetings. I'm used to long meetings. I'm used to long-winded meetings. But I think those are going to be the biggest challenges that I have for sure.
So if we touch on a couple of hot button issues that are going on. Um, what do you, what's your feeling of development in Palm Coast?
So there's two sides that I see, right? So
Absolutely.
I spoke on about things that that happened in the past that are coming now. I understand, things have to happen because it was already set in place. Um, where I have an issue with is, the transparency and how quickly things are being moved and not second thought, so to speak, about it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if we're going to, we could use the example that just happened.
I was going to ask you. You were
Uh,
there with me
we could use
when that conversation occurred, and
right.
what were your thoughts on that?
So
So let me explain real
okay.
quickly. In one of the last city council meetings, there was a second reading of a development. And typically, in my mind, the second reading of a development is when minor changes or questions or issues are resolved and discussed before the council accepts or rejects, votes nay or yay. And at the last minute, the developer decided to throw this huge out of left field Hail Mary to make a unbelievable, not a bad, I mean, on face value, the effort to support and help with low income and make all that is a no-brainer. We're all for trying to assist those workers that need help.
Absolutely.
But it was at the last minute of the last hour of the last day that this happened.
Hmm.
Is that how you felt was going on there? That they probably, well, what do you think? How do you think the city council should have handled it?
So, I mean, I'll say it and and I'll be at peace with it. I've gotten asked this question as well too in the community. Honestly, had I been sitting on city council that time, I would have I would have tabled it. I would have sided with the mayor, and I would have tabled that conversation. To your point, a second read, we're supposed to be going over everything from the first and
Sure.
adjusting there, where new things came on the table, and in a blink of an eye, it was a 4-1 decision, and the community felt that all in that room,
Right.
and was just, it, it was just unbelievable how fast those things happen, right?
People that what the hell?
Um, and I'm not against the development for what they're using it for. However, if things were going to happen that way, I would have tabled it, and if it would have happened on the third, it would have just happened on the third. So be it.
Yeah, well, part of the issues, and I've brought this before the city council, and I understand some of the council members' response of, well, they made commitments, they made conditions, they offered to answer or present this stuff after the fact. But I wasn't born yesterday. I didn't fall off the truck the day before. And I realized that whole process of transparency, and I loved you bringing that up, was the fact of, in my mind, most of the city council members most likely had some level of understanding this was going to occur, or maybe was brought up. But the citizens, the room full of residents from that east section, had no idea.
Not at all.
Had no idea. And so and I'm agreeing with you, and others have as well, there is no harm to slow things down and make the best judgment with everything you have a day, a week, couple weeks later. That development had been sitting approved for the lower 58 homes for almost 5 years, maybe even longer. They hadn't done anything with it.
Yep.
So there wasn't an emergency of time. There wasn't a rush. And so as you sitting there witnessing this stuff and then going, if I'm sitting up there, what are going to be my thoughts? That's a valuable opportunity for you to do that, because I believe a lot of the citizens have approached me with not a nay or yay, but be better informed, right? To know more than you know. I know that when you were doing probably with retail where you would get called in, you got a 22,000 square foot facility that needs to be redone, and you do your due diligence to find out impact and cost and subs and all that. There's always going to be a couple things that blindside you later on, but you go in as prepared as possible.
As possible.
So approving this, and they've done this before. They are notorious for approving ordinances without all the information. The chicken. They approved the chicken ordinance without the project, the study being submitted. So it's an interesting time. We don't know what's happening with the property taxes. As we've talked, the loss of availability of small municipalities like Palm Coast to even control its own destiny is under attack by Tallahassee. And so you are going to find, as others, that there's a lot of things the city, the citizens want. Like we were just talking last podcast about putting the lights up here at Matanzas on the east and west side of the highway, and all the citizens want it done, but they don't understand it's a federal funding and state funding. Palm Coast has nothing to do with it. And so trying to inform them, and I do try to inform the citizens that it's not within Palm Coast's, you as a city, somebody sitting on council, to make these changes. You can yell and scream to Tallahassee all you want.
Yeah, and I think, as one of my platforms and what I do tell everyone, and I'm going to try to knock it out of the park as much as I can. I want to be accessible, right? I want you to ask questions. I want to be transparent for you, right? Even if the decision or the answer isn't what you're looking for, I gave you the realistic of what happened. A lot of times, I'm talking to residents to make sure they're getting registered to vote, that they're coming out August 18th.
Yep.
August 18th. And they're coming to voice their opinion, because your vote matters. No matter what you think, your vote matters. Local elections are super important, and we need everyone to come out. But showing up to city council meetings are important, right? In order to be in the mix of things, you have to go. And I get it. A lot of people work. I see it on Nextdoor, Facebook, and everything. Why did we have a meeting at 9 a.m. where everybody works? They prefer the 6 p.m.
Sure.
So that way they can be at it. And I get it. I do. But I do know some people that just be like, I don't really care about it. It doesn't affect me. It does. In one way or another, it does affect you. So I can't stress it enough. You got to get out and vote. You have to make it to city council. You got to make it to the school board meetings, the county meetings, all the meetings, right, to really be involved with the community. If you are frustrated with the community, you got to be the change. So that's what I'm stressing out here. I'm stressing that, when elected, I'm going to be accessible. I'm going to make sure that I tell you what's, break it down clearer for you, so that way you guys understand what's happening.
Yeah, and I'm pushing for, and I talked to the city manager, who seems to be very supportive and working hard on the transparency, that 3 minutes to some is not enough time. To others, it's way more time than you need. But we need to have more town hall meetings monthly with our representatives so that people can sit down and have an interaction and have a conversation and ask questions that's longer than 3 minutes. They started it last year. They need to carry through and bring it out to make it a lot more one-on-one with the citizens that are going on. So, another thing that's going on is with the budget, which you're going to land right in the middle or possibly right at the tail end of the budget issue. And the council seems to be trying to dance on both sides of this edge of saving money here and then spending money over here and supporting this kind of scenario. And I'm planning on one of the things I'm bringing up tomorrow night, 6 p.m., tomorrow night, City Council. If you haven't downloaded the new City app, I highly recommend you doing it. It's phenomenal, easy, has accessible, and they're making a promise, which I've been trying to get them to do for years. That packet that you get because you specifically requested it, because as somebody who's running for office candidate, it would very much be important for you to look at the deeper side. They're hoping to put that packet on or attached to the app. But one of the questions I want to ask them is, I'm a big, let's just say I shined a light on this process we had. Did you know that here in Palm Coast, we provide real dollars to the sheriff's office above and beyond our property taxes? Last year, and even the years before that, the city council approved the largest contract we have with the city is with the sheriff's office for millions of dollars. Actual dollars through our budget, not through taxes, to go towards the sheriff's office for exceptional service. And the sheriff, $11 million. And that's above and beyond your taxes, your millage rate. Well, just recently, the sheriff's office was reimbursed almost $1 million. I think it was, don't quote me, 700,000 from the state through the federal government because, excuse me, Flagler County had been housing undocumented immigrants, effectively stopping and holding undocumented. They were interacting with the ICE and the Border Patrol, which was costing us money. Hours, fuel, material, beds. And the state and the city came out and reimbursed all the counties with real money. Well, that's not their money. That's our money. I'm wondering how much is Palm Coast going to get from that money that the sheriff got.
To pay for a helicopter now.
Well,
He has to maintain it.
he doesn't have that yet. But the point I'm at is a question that several citizens have come to me and said, hey, we can't get our pool fixed.
Right.
We're struggling with the golf course. We can't afford, even though every study has said that our speed limits are too high in our residential areas. Everyone on that city council has come back and said, we really would like to see us lower from 30 miles an hour in an unsidewalked residential, like right out here. Most people live in that area, and you're in our district. Well, we can't afford it. It'd be over $1 million to change all the signs. We can't afford to be safe. We can't afford to protect our citizens. So I pose the question to you as a possible as a sitting city council member, do you think it's value added to add additional money to a service we've already paid for?
I think
Something to ponder.
it is something definitely to
It,
ponder.
it caught me off guard. I was amazed that, and we've done this since our creation, that we have provided real money to the sheriff's office on top of the property taxes that we all pay to get exceptional service in Palm Coast. And I think I was looking back at the records. I guess he was asking for 9 new deputies. Don't know if they cover Palm Coast or not. They're everywhere. And for the record, our sheriff department is amazing. Every time I've had an interaction with a sheriff's deputy, it has been pleasant. I think they're doing a great job. And I believe that we need to fund them. But at the same time, we have a lot of other things that we need to fund.
Absolutely.
From the Humane Society to the YMCA to the maintenance of our roads. There's a great survey going on right now, which I've been pushing on everybody to take, that has some incredible questions about you, the citizen, and whether you're happy with, do you have enough streetlights? What's the condition of your road? Did you take that? Have you seen that survey?
I have taken it. I have gotten others to taking it. I'm right behind you.
Yeah, it's amazing. So hopefully that feedback from that survey will come out to let the city council know what the citizens are after. So what else is going on that you're hearing about that you think maybe our voters need to know about D Gallery, where you stand on issues? What do you think about the Humane Society? Do you think that we should be funding additional support and money for pets and animals in the city? That's a big conversation that's been going on.
It is a big conversation. I know they've helped my pup out a lot of times, you know. He's not the friendliest when it comes to a shot or whatnot, but
Well, his name is POTUS, right?
hey, don't get it confused for sure.
I know.
He is a nice young man. I would say for sure, he is a very nice young man. But I did hear the increase from the $5 to $25.
$25 for the licensing fees. Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole conversation that I've talked about and brought in. But they're looking at providing land and offsetting for a new facility to increase the ability to, I think, humanely handle and take care of animals, cats and dogs and other things. It's a great idea.
It is.
It's important. And we're way behind in what many of the other counties our size are doing. And we relied on private Humane Society issues. But there's real money. And you're only going to have so much of it to divvy around. And you're going to have 200 residents. The skate park. What a conversation.
That's
you know?
a huge one right there.
Yeah.
I did meet with some families as well too. They asked about that. They even asked me to come out to the skate park. I'm not much of a Tony Hawk, but I could dibble and dabble on a skateboard or a scooter if you need me to. But, just to answer your questions, which ties back into what you were speaking about before, honestly, if we could really take care of the needs of the citizens first, as far as like sidewalks, swells, sidewalks, swells, light fixtures and everything, I think that's the main thing that we need to get to first. Love puppies, I love bunnies, I love kitties and whatnot. But we really need to take care of the safety first.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand there's only so much. And the decision of where to spend that is challenging.
Yeah.
And budgets, as you well know from your past experiences, you always want to do as much as possible with as less as you have.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of a contradiction? I've spent my entire life trying to financially do everything I want to do with little to try to be. But you know, the other thing is, Palm Coast right now is heavily in debt.
Yes.
We have committed, and we needed to. I don't agree with the big bite we took of the things we needed. We could have spread it out. But due to delays, this is my thoughts, but due to delays from previous councils, and you did touch on that earlier about decisions made before you're ever going to be on the council, or if coming back for us to respond to. But the fact of the matter is, we're in debt.
Yep.
Deeply in debt. And we were so fortunate this hurricane season not to have a single storm, not to have any kind of crazy emergency that would tax what we're doing. But that's not a guarantee, and odds are it's going to happen.
Yes.
That we're going to be affected. But
Knock on wood.
knock on wood. Well, if you lived in Florida long enough, you know very well those kind of storms are out there. So, Dee, final thoughts? What is it? What do you want to say to as many people possible about what you're after? What do you want to do? What are you going to bring to that council?
So, what am I going to bring? So, I think my slogan says it all, leadership that listens and progress with purpose. Like I said, I wanted to be accessible. I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen now. If you want me to stop by or you find me in a coffee shop, I'm always at a Dunkin', Starbucks, or whatnot trying to get a hot cup of Joe. If you want to stop and talk my ear off, that's it. I'm welcome. I'm welcoming it. Come on down. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your inputs, what needs to get to city council. If you can't make it, I'm going to make it for you. I want you to know about my platforms, I'm all for protecting seniors, keeping it safe, affordable, accessible. I'm honoring and supporting veterans. My entire family is just filled with military right now. My brother is currently in the military right now.
Scary times.
So I'm a big supporter of veterans and honoring them for sure. I stand with people with disabilities. And I'm really working to support the youth, right? Our youth don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
From the skate parks to, the YMCA, just after school activities going on, things for them to really get involved with instead of being in the streets or in the house. I remember being outside till the street lights came on and everything. We had to beg to go outside, not stay inside, and we had Nintendo 64s and all that, Game Boys and things like that. Maybe not quite PS5s and whatnot, but we begged to go outside. I want to see more kids outside. So, smart and responsible growth in utilities for sure. Working on that. But I do know coming soon, if you have not followed me on Facebook, that's Dylana Galery for City Council, or Twitter, or TikTok, or Instagram, follow me. We're going to be coming up with some town halls ourselves, some activities for the kids. The summer's coming. But we're going to be out there, and I want to meet each and every one of you. You can tell me the good, the bad, the ugly, right? I don't care. I want to hear it, right? We can all talk in a responsible, respectful manner. I'm here for it.
That's amazing. And I'm excited.
I'm super excited.
I'm always open to change and the conversation that comes with it in a safe, non-threatening, challenging. And the citizens of this city have the same issues, no matter what politics you have. Your water bill is high, your trash pickup, traffic, all these things. They're not politics. They are needs that the city needs to prioritize. And I love that comment and that things you're saying. Dee, thanks so much for coming by. How can people get money? How can people fund? Where are you at with your funding, your signs and all the things you're doing? How can people help you?
Absolutely. So once again, right at my website, DylanaGallery.com, DYLANAGALERY.com. We have our donate tab right there at the bottom, right before you get to the dialogue. So if you want to donate right before you tell me something, or you want to tell me something and then donate, we're here. If you want a yard size, go ahead and drop it there too for us as well. And once we get them in, we'll start rolling them out, and we welcome all the support that we can get for sure.
So along with that, how you doing with your petitions?
We are almost to the finish line. We are waiting for the final count, but honestly, we are still hammering down. So once again, if you are in the R, E, W, K, and Z section, I need your help to help me get secured on the ballot. We're almost there, but I'm super excited just to share it with everybody, and it gives me another chance to meet more people and talk to more people and tell them who I am. So once again, if you live in the R, E, W, K, or Z section and you have not signed my petition, I want to come out to you, meet you, and hope to get your support.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for coming, Dee. I really appreciate it. It's a great opportunity to participate and to get involved, and I want to thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
And sitting with me on boring city council meetings the last one was like 5 hours long, but there's value to it.
Absolutely.
And you guys know I'm a huge proponent in participation. Unfortunately, as my wife has pointed out, the TV can't hear you screaming at the radio or banging on your steering wheel offers no opportunity for change. And we need change. And we need participation. So guys, thanks again for coming. I appreciate it. August 18th is the primary. Be clear, Florida has a closed primary, but not for city council, not for school board. Everyone can vote August 18th. So get ready, be prepared, get your ducks in a row, because this is the only voice you have. This is what the Constitution requires you to do. So no matter what your situation is, whether you live here part-time, if you're a registered voter here, make those steps available so that even though you may be in beautiful Montana or Maine or New York, you still get an opportunity to vote. Don't find a reason not to participate.
Absolutely.
So guys, with that, I want to thank you for stopping by. Dee, thank you. And remember, be nice out there, smile, and have great conversations. I'll catch you next time.